Hi, this is Raj Kumar Pal. In today's video, I'm going to share my perspective and going to discuss about the very common question and very tedious question, which is comes arising when it's come to starting our very important task for our goal. So, what sorts of the resistance or the frictions or the change has to become or have making us so much struggling and hesitant to start a task specific to any project, and why this is happening, what is the reason behind that, and how we can overcome this resistance to start. And sometimes it is very daunting in our head as well as in our mind, and physically we are not ready to do this task, or we feeling we always caught in the loop of experiencing this that task, what is going to be taken in order to start the task or the activity, or what we are meaning giving inside us, or what is the story going around those specific tasks, so that we feel so much resistant to. And though even though in some cases it is very little to take a plunge of that and move with that, but then we delayed and we make things put it off for the, and we postponing, we schedule for the next day, someday, today, tomorrow, and we give thousands of reason to us to, and where even it is the reason is very genuine, reasonable, and makes sense for us, not around other thing else. So I'm going to share the key, the very prominent and very dominant thing when, and specifically it is very important when we dealing with to achieve or conquer our most wildest goal, or the ambitious goal, or bigger and bolder goal to achieve, because we are so much engrossed, and we are pulling so much us in order to, like, have a financial freedom, or the launching a business, writing a book, or starting in the entrepreneur journey, or we want to be like someone who most admirable to us, or even it is a so much inspiration to us to, like, making an impact for ourselves as well as for society, or do the bigger things like that. But while being in the job, while dealing with our personal responsibility, our self-care and everything, that this will become so much hard. And so the inevitable thing is just to resist all these tasks, or the things related to those things is become very activeful and very hesitant. While why we would not hesitant to feel hesitate when it's come to doing our daily task, even though we don't like in our job. So there is a altogether different scenario and how we can tackle this. I'm going to first going to give you the number one reason, number one uh, resistance that we all, or no matter what the size or the size of your being, or who you are, or what is your status, or what is our credibility lineup, but nobody as a person has found overcome in a very first instance, or those people who hasn't go through this challenge. And the number one challenge is that the fear of failure. So what is the reason, and why this fear of failure comes in the first place, other than all other regions? There is a hell lot of regions, or the things that we are becoming so hesitant, we feel resistant to start, like waking up in the morning, start doing exercising, start putting content, or the starting of some learning, uh, starting of some learning new skills, or speaking to the strange person, or the practicing the communication skills, and as well as networking with our network people, or like who are beneficial to us. So this is altogether a different game, and all are sorts of interconnected to each other. But my focus is on the number one region, that which is stopping us to feels in a such a way or hesitant, making us hesitant to take a leap of faith and start a start a task immediately. The first thing is high expectation. High expectation, our past experiences, our our self-worth, our self-identity, how we think about ourselves, how we perceive the reality, perfectionism, peer comparison, and identity and self-worth. So the out of these five regions, when we take a huge amount of expectation for ourselves, because expectation will put us in a cave of pressure where we feel sort of limited with our resourcefulness, with our own set of skill set, our own set of mindset, etc. Because often fear of failure stem from the setting unrealistic and high expectation from oneself or ourselves, pursuing that other have this expectation the same, and we are not always being aware of all those things we perceive that they are achieving greater things or doing much more than us, but actually they are meant to other people's, or every individual is a unique. And so it is not necessarily that it may or may be helpful to us as well. So instead of putting high expectation, having expectation is the key thing, but high expectation will make us so much scary to even start a small thing. Second one is the past experiences. No matter how much we are skillful or know or we understand or intellectually or theoretically practically, but we belong and we listen to our stories or our reasonable excuses and genuine reasons to not being able to do or not being able to accomplish any certain goals due to our past experience. And if we are spiritually oriented, and if we are much likely to be bound by the belief of our parents or bound by the belief of our society and our culture, and if there is association of your past deeds and actions and to the other people or the other person or the other in any other business, then we associated those karmas or those action is the number one reason to not accelerate in what we are trying to do now. But reasonably we have to think that whether past experience is coexisting at the same time as compared to the previous one, or it can be dissolved, it can be neutralized, or it can be disassociate from ourselves, so that we can take leap of faith and start doing good thing for us. And next is perfectionism. This is one of the most challenge today's knowledge worker are facing. Knowledge workers or coaches or the consultings or the educators or the teachers or the any kind of thing, the academical thing or the coaching thing, or even if you're in a space of content creation where lot of sophistication tactics and tools and marketing things and frameworks and concepts ideas have been propagated in front of through the different channels. So we are not ready and we are not know the difference, and we try to inculcate all these things which is very short term, which is not so much they may or may not be implicable to us in our case scenario. If you are brand new starting from the scratch, or the doing something own, or we running our solopreneur journey apart from our regular job. So perfectionism is a killing our desire to the everything perfectly can inhibit the starting or completing the task, even in the whether it is a taking a one step where our physical involvement is there, and we just thinking about it we just get postponed. And peer comparison, comparing oneself or ourselves unfavorably to the other who seem successful or ahead of us and excel and accelerate amidst of all the challenges and problems. And we as with our human nature that we always and we are looking ourselves with a frame of some reference of the identity, or with the sense of success or the achievement or the materialistic things or aggregations of all these things are making us dumb in front of our own eye, in front of our own self being, in front of our self identity, because we did not need to compare ourselves with anything or one step above from us. We have to compare ourselves with our version, how much we are ahead of one day before or the previous day, or one step ahead from ourselves, what we are doing, or what we are standing on ourselves on the for um, whole life, or what we have experienced in our career or life. And identity and self-worth, this is this is unimaginable and non-negotiated and unreachable to go beyond this or go without this, because everything is associated, or everything is all based on the self-worth, self-identity, and self-confidence and self growth. And if we are not aware of this, we are going to be feel resistant, hesitate to our task itself.